Tonight, missing biometric verification device from the Volta region leaves NDC and NPP at each other's throats at emergency inter-party advisory committee meeting called by the Electoral Commission.
The NDC's intelligence that picked up the theft case, I would say over 97% of the questions were not answered.
As New Patriotic Party, we think that the engagement we've had today, the EC has been open when they had closed their discussion together.
We have the latest from both parties and here from Kodeo. They independently monitored what happened. Today we'll get an independent view.
This is Top Story with Evans Mensah.
Tonight, it is emerging at least one biometric voter verification device may still be missing, leaving the governing NPP and the opposition NDC at each other's throats at an emergency inter-party advisory committee meeting. Whereas the NDC claims the EC confirmed at the meeting that indeed some biometric verification devices were missing, the NPP insists such claims are untrue. First, listen to Dr. Maniboama of the NDC making these claims in an interview with the media after the IPAC meeting.
The theft at the headquarters of the Electoral Commission. And I must say, it is very disappointing, the attitude of the NPP towards this theft. Why? Because if we can have the headquarters of the Electoral Commission of Ghana under CCTV surveillance, and there is significant components of biometric verification registration kits are stolen. And listen to me carefully. The EC did not voluntarily supply the information. It was the NDC's intelligence that picked up the theft case and questioned the EC in Parliament. The question is, but for the NDC's intelligence picking this up, when will the EC have informed the political parties? And so when the agenda included this briefing on the biometric devices, we decided that we will put forward the pertinent questions, which we read all to them. I will say over 97% of the questions were not answered. And I'll take you through them.
Samuel Mbura is with me. He's been there listening to the NDC. When Dr. Maniboama says he will take us through them, Samuel Mbura will help us understand what exactly he was referring to. Also joining me right now is the NPP's Director of Elections, Evans Nemako. Hello, Mr. Nemako. Thanks for your time here on Top Story.
Thank you for having me.
Samuel Mbura, to you first. You were there when you heard Dr. Maniboama claim that more than 90% of the questions that he asked at the IPAC meeting have not been answered. What were these questions precisely?
Well, so I must say that the issues before IPAC had to do with the upcoming election, and this DVD issue was one of the critical issues that they discussed. So after the meeting, the parties did not have problems with the other issues that were before the committee, but particularly about the DVDs, the NDC said it wasn't happy about the way the EC has handled the imported theft case. So Dr. Maniboama claims that per the investigations of the NDC, the DVDs and the BVRs are indeed missing, but the EC is trying to show the information from the public. So he raised the question that did the EC actually report the case to the police at the time the reported theft was detected? What did the technical people of the EC tell them when they detected that these machines were not accounted for? So he said these and other questions were what they posed to the EC before the IPAC meeting, but the EC did not give definite answers, but deferred those questions to the technical team. He says the questions were technical and it needed the input of their technical team to clarify some of these issues, because the NDC wanted to find out, are these machines just laptops, as you say? Because in your statement, you claim that the missing or the unaccounted for devices were just laptops, cameras, and printers that did not have any consequence or have any potential of rigging the election. So why did these machines get missing, and why didn't they go public to inform those who matter in the case? So in effect, what Mr. Omane Boama is claiming is that the EC never answered those questions, and they are demanding that the EC comes clean on it so that it will not create that fear and panic getting into the election, because they want a free and fair election and they don't want anything to be shredded in secrecy.
Mr. Nemako, did the Electoral Commission admit that they still have a missing voter verification device out there?
Thank you, Evans. I think we shouldn't belabor the point. The EC informed political parties that this whole allegation of missing BVRs, DVDs is neither here nor there. That some computers, 5 computers, when they did their material check, they realized that we're missing. And they have reported to the police. Can we please find out from the EC what the actual situation is? New Patriotic Party, we are not the security over the EC's installation. Do you have to bother our heads? The EC says we've made a report to the police. If NDC has information, they should volunteer to the police to assist with the investigation. Evans, I don't think we have to waste our energy on these issues. What for me was critical is that the EC tells us that on 30th of this month, they are running the by-election in a Jesu constituency. The EC informed us that between 7th and 27th of May, they will be undertaking limited registration exercise.
Yeah, we'll come to those.
So please,
we'll come to those specifics. However,
yes,
I understand that in this meeting, the EC recounted an incident in the Volta region during the district level elections, where the polling station was raided and everything was taken away, including a biometric verification device.
Fact.
Was it something that you were told of?
This issue has been reported to the Japan police station. Can we verify from the police whether the EC district officer stationed in that constituency has reported the missing issue to the police or not? And to what extent is the police undertaking?
From what I understand, from this has been reported to the police, but the BVR in question, the BVD in question, is yet to be retrieved.
You see, this whole thing started with some confusion from the NDC's backyard. They told us that 7 BVRs of the EC is missing. Today, the NDC were there in the house. EC said, our BVR kits are intact, except that in 5 of them, the computers are missing. And we've reported it to the police. And the police is undertaking investigation.
But there's a clear difference between the 5 laptops and this biometric verification device in the Volta region, which is missing, is there not?
Please, I'm saying that we, the New Patriotic Party, we don't have the authority to provide security for the EC. Here is the case. The NDC says that through their investigation and intelligence, they are able to unravel these missing BVR DVDs. Let them volunteer information to the police to assist the police in their investigation. Should we bother our heads over this too?
The question, though, is considering that the EC's earlier position was that they do not have on record any missing biometric verification device, and that what is missing relates to 5 laptops. Now we're hearing indeed one biometric verification device is indeed missing. Doesn't that raise concern for you as the MPP?
So, Evans, if you know how the biometric verification registration kit works, it's a whole system. The computer is one component. For you to be able to access the whole system, you should have a certain password. Without that, the computer alone out of it, that whole system becomes moribund. You can't use it. You can't use it for anything. There isn't any data on it. And so I'm surprised that the NDC, who claims to have intelligence on the missing kids, will not volunteer information to the police. Please, let's find out from the EC the actual situation. Let's find out where they reported in terms of the police station, and then we can then verify. And I really have my doubt whether we should not discuss something else than to spend our whole energies on this issue. NDC says 7 of the DVRs were missing. EC comes and said it's 5 computers, and we've reported to the police. The other one you mentioned, the Norton issue, the Nanton issue, the Takwa, this is said their installations were vandalized, and out of that, some of their DVDs are missing. They are not able to trace them, but they've reported to the police. It is for all interested parties, stakeholders, to assess. Other than that, I don't see where there should be a confusion.
And when did this happen? So 3 EC installations housing equipment had been raided.
I think that the EC will be in a position to provide the details on these things.
But they told you, they gave you the briefing today at the IPAC meeting.
Please, it's the NDC Omane Buama who says he has 35 questions for EC.
But you're just confirming that at least 3 EC installations across the country had been raided, and 3 of them have reported some missing
last
equipment.
limited registration exercise they did in Takwa, they had a problem. The district level elections they conducted, they had an issue in Norton. In the case of Nanton, they couldn't conduct the exercise, and the 9 or 8 of the DVDs are with the police in Nanton. This is what the EC finished us when he had the IPAC meeting. I think we can verify from there.
I've just been joined by Mustafa Agbande, the NDC's Deputy General Secretary. Mustafa Agbande, what was the account at the IPAC today as far as these biometric verification devices are concerned?
Thank you very much, Evan. I think that I'm listening to my colleague on the other side, and I really wish that we should up the conversation a bit. We do know, as we speak today, that some machines that are used for registration or for voting are missing or tampered with at the Electoral Commission. We are finished with the conversation. The rest of the issue is that let us subject the whole matter to scientific analysis. Let us ask questions bordering on inventory, questions bordering on knowing the serial number of the machines that were missing. When did they detect that machines were missing? To the extent that it is not disclosed to the public, so that the public can volunteer information until the matter came up at Parliament. Then they themselves gave us information of the number of machines that have been missing, only to come back and say that, oh, it wasn't 7, it's 5, and that we are issuing a press statement to give you the assurance. And the assurance is that those machines cannot be functioning until the missing. What shows that the same company that went to steal the machine will not sneak into a electoral commission process.
But most of the statement that the EC issued on the 20th of March made reference to 5 laptops, not biometric verification devices.
Even they should go to Circle and buy laptops and call them laptops. But as far as those machines were produced from the factory, they were not laptops. They are really machines. And they are in a bag. And in that bag, it contains a laptop sort of affixed to it. It contains a printer. It contains a camera. They can't call it laptop. Even if they call it laptop, what it means is that the functionality of those machines have been tampered with. So therefore, it's important we go into inventory. It's important we do an audit. It's important we understand the fundamental issues. Press statement and explanation does not suffice. The Electoral Commission's work has minimal application of discretion. And so therefore, when something happens, we only subject that to standards. And the standards are that do an inventory, do an audit. Police will determine the criminality of it. But we are dealing with the administrative inventory of these machines. What is difficult about it? That the MPP is now a PR or entity and saying that we should be volunteering information. Even the response from the MPP make the matter more complicated and more suspicious.
I mean, how so? I've heard Omanibuama say it is based on your intelligence that this matter came to light and you asked the questions in Parliament. If you have intelligence, share it with the EC and the police.
We are also going to participate in the election where machines are missing. How sure are they that those machines will not be in the hands of NDC to compromise the election? But it makes it very suspicious.
Yeah, but Mustafa, it appears the NDC, you have what you call intelligence. Share it with the police.
We don't have any responsibility of intelligence. They should stop mentioning the police. It has everything to do with administrative investigation. If by the time you get to Joy FM, 3 of your laptops are missing, there's a need for you to go and check who was the last person before you left. You don't go to the police and leave it to the police and say that we should proceed to use the rest of the machines to conduct a nationwide registration exercise. It is not done.
But that was the point of today's emergency IPAC meeting, so that the EC can give you answers and assurances. You say you're not assured.
They came to the meeting without those answers. They didn't even have basic information up to date. They said they have to go and consult their technical officer. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine EC saying that they don't have information? They have to go and consult. How complicated is it for you to tell us that the DVT machines now are missing? We have done some cross-checks, some calculations. These are the serial numbers. So therefore, when you go to the police, you can find those serial numbers being in the complaint. How difficult it is. They should up the conversation. We are not raising emotional issues. They are not our girlfriends. They are a professional law-established institution that should be doing their work. Their work is to conduct a free and fair election. And that election must be credible. As it is today, without the inventory being conducted, any exercise of the Electoral Commission is compromised. And any exercise is subject to manipulation because 5 machines are in the hands of criminals, and the Electoral Commission is not prepared to undertake scientific analysis and inventory into the missing machine. They have CCTV footage. Who did they see in it? Are they saying that the CCTV at the Electoral Commission were not functioning?
Okay.
So, are they saying that they don't have a storekeeper at the Commission?
You've had time now with the EC to ask these questions. You're still not happy with the answers you got. What do you do now?
Come again.
You've asked your questions today at the emergency IPAC meeting. You say that you're still not happy with the answers you got. What next?
These are very fatal questions bordering on the credibility of the Electoral Commission. And in their own interest, let them go and sleep on it and reflect. In fact, knowledge is not in one person's head. When they read the questions, our audience are also listening. Maybe they will be advised and they will listen, but know that the way they are dealing with the issue is quite different. And so let's get to the substance of the issue and deal with it in the interest of the Commission's own integrity and credibility that has been put on the line. In the first place, we should not have a Commission that will fail to protect the machines. We should not have. We should not have situations where thieves have been able to enter into the White House of the Electoral Commission to steal, knowing how important these machines are. We shouldn't have gotten there in the first place.
Okay. Mustafa Ahmadi, stay with me because I'm just having a challenge with your connection and hopefully going to get you on a better line. Because also today, the Electoral Commission gave us a roadmap to the GSU by-election on when is the date?
So the date is the 30th of April 2024, Evans.
Okay.
So according to the Commission, they'll receive nominations from prospective candidates for the election of a member of parliament for the said constituency. The nominations will be received at the Ejiso District Office of the Commission from the 16th April 2024 to 18th April 2024 between the hours of 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. on each day. The commissioners, those who are interested, are required to download the nomination forms from the Commissioner's website between 9th April 2024 and 18th April 2024. So if you're a prospective candidate, you may personally have to deliver or cause to be delivered on your behalf by either the proposer or a seconder on your behalf. That is what the EC is saying.
So 30th April is
Exactly.
the date for the by-elections there. And I have Paula Brampa-Mensah, is the programs manager, CDD, also joining me right now on this conversation. Mustafa Agbande is still with me. But Paula Brampa, on the subject of the missing BVDs, and the EC earlier explained that they were laptops, but we're getting some clarity today that it may include BVDs. In fact, how should this be handled? I mean, for the NDC, this is sensitive enough to jeopardize entire elections on December 7. Hello, Paul.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
I wonder if you had my question.
So it's got to do with the BVD.
Yes.
That the NDC is still not happy with the answers given by the Electoral Commission. Yeah, so I'm happy we are having citizens who are up to the task of supporting every democratic process in the country. Yeah, so as I said, and I did indicate when this issue came up, and the NDC minority caucus had a press statement. What I said was that it's better we support the justice delivery system to work. So I was asking the NDC to provide the evidence to the police service to start investigation so that people who have stolen the 5 said machines could be arrested to support investigation. That is the only way we can unravel whatever it is that has happened actually. Because the responses from the Electoral Commission seem to negate whatever the NDC is saying. And it would be better we have investigation to see whether the claims of the NDC is actually true or what the NPP, the Electoral Commission is saying is the truth. So I would prefer whatever evidence the NDC has be given to the police to start investigations into the matter.
And that's a fundamental question that I put to Mustafa Agbande on the subject as well. Mustafa Agbande says it's not their responsibility to gather intelligence. But Mustafa, you will not disagree that you are an important stakeholder in this process, and integrity of the process is as important to you as it is to everybody else in this country. And that if you have the information, you should share it.
Sure.
It borders on Evans' authority of information and responsibility. The Electoral Commission has the utmost responsibility for the custody, protection, and preservation of those machines. And when we ask the question, Evans, we have right to information bill. You can always request any public institution and ask questions bordering on how it works. The public, just as any other ordinary person, has the right to do. Have asked the Electoral Commission, 7 machines are missing. You didn't deny. You said 5 are missing. So if 5 are missing, give account for those 5. And they're asking NDC to volunteer information. It is knowledge turned upside down. Let's go to the fundamentals. Electoral Commission is the sole body that has the responsibility to protect, preserve, and maintain those machines. They have come to admit that not but 5 are missing. If the fact that they admitted 5 are missing and not 7, it shouldn't transfer responsibility to the NDC. We will not be in the position to assist. they should be in the position to undertake a public responsibility exercise. And that is to say that we are conducting an inventory to give you assurance as to how the things were missing, which of the machines have been tampered with or vandalized, which of them have been stolen, which of them are going to be deployed into the next exercise. So calling on the NDC to volunteer information, who says we are interested in the criminality of it? We are interested in the administration of those machines to the extent that it can jeopardize and compromise the integrity of the exercise. That is what the NDC is talking about.
I mean, Paula Brampa, what about the Electoral Commission itself? What's your responsibility here? Because primarily, these equipment we are talking about, they were all in the custody of the EC at the time that it got missing, especially when we're not hearing that you have actual biometric verification devices that also may be missing, not only in one place, but at least in 3 places that we've heard from Evans Nemako earlier.
Able to come out to say that 5 machines are missing. Probably they have
the NDC didn't say that. The NDC said
can help the police to, because there's a criminal aspect also to it. Apart from the Electoral Commission being accountable to its own administration, there's also a criminal aspect of the whole thing. So probably I was thinking because the NDC has been able to support us to tell us that, because I wouldn't have known 5 machines are getting missing. It is because of the agility of the NDC that some of these things have come up. So if they have any information, that's what I'm asking. I'm not saying it's a responsibility of the NDC to start the investigation, no. But if there are any information, if there's anything that can help us to unravel the criminal aspect of the whole thing, we are all citizens. And as it said, we all support the system to function. So if there's any information that the NDC has that it can help us to see which people did that, who did not handle his work well, then that will help us. But of course, the accountability and responsibility of the Electoral Commission cannot be negated.
Mustafa Gbandi, on another subject relating to... just a second. I mean, because of time, I need to get some thoughts from you on the other big thing that happened at the emergency IPAC meeting, which is the setting of the date for the Juicy by-election. Is the NDC contesting?
Yes, Evans, the NDC is now going to... We went to Asenos 2 weeks into the election and won that. And so we are not worried at all. The Electoral Commission have set a date. Leadership of the party will sit down and discuss. But I think that we place a lot of credence on this BVD political, conversation than any other thing, because the knowledge is being turned upside down. If you found somebody stealing and you draw to the attention of the one they are stealing that they are taking something from him, does that mean that you should be the one providing information substantively to the missing items? No. EC should get to the bottom of the issues. We cannot be the ones leading investigation.
Yeah.
If
okay.
you have come to admit publicly...
You made that point quite clearly earlier. So we should expect a sort of a primary in Ejuso for you. When is this?
Yes, we have a parliamentary candidate in place. And so it is not... We are even ahead of the NPP. We already have a parliamentary candidate in place. The NPP is now battling. Up to 9 people have unquestionably, filed to contest election of a deputy minister whose death they haven't investigated, a deputy minister around whose death there is a lot of suspicion, a deputy minister in whose 1-week funeral the president's 80th birthday was...
Mustafa Gbandi, we will wait to see how that contest goes down, but we expect the NDC to fully... Your candidate will be in this race for this particular by-election, and you're also looking forward to the main one, I guess.
That decision will be finalized when the national chairman and the general secretary are rightly seated.
Okay, so just to clarify, you haven't taken the decision yet whether your candidate will be participating in the 30th of April by-election?
We are yet to get to that decision, respectfully.
Okay. That there is Mustafa Gbandi. He's a Deputy General Secretary of the NDC. Paula Brampa is a Programs Manager at the CDD. Earlier you had Evans Nemako, who is the Director of Research and Elections at the NPP. Well, a lot to digest on the particular subject of the missing laptops and now missing biometric verification devices. The EC, we understand, may be issuing a statement to clarify what precisely happened in this IPAC meeting. As and when we get that, we will bring that to you too.